So, Roger, tell me a little bit about yourself and your past.
I don't know, Vietnam vet,
When did you serve?
67, 68.
And you went to Vietnam?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you come back home. Why start this? Why the passion that you're showing for the collections and the hours and hours and hours that you've put into this?
Well, this was actually started in World War One.
Okay.
Them World War One guys put them names up and then pictures up. And then the World War II guys carried it over, and we kept carrying it over, and it's, here it is.
How many people were involved when you got involved with the Legion from World War I to?
The Legion had, I think it was 2,550 members. Now we're down to 40-some.
Yeah. And are others as active as you are?
No. The commander here, he's active, but still, climbing the steps, stuff like that. And there's 3 of us that do all this stuff,
I've seen, just in walking around here initially, I've seen, again, just so many different wars represented, but the folders that are over in that case over there. Can you tell me about those?
It's a lot of years of research. I got a book in there, or the book's in there, and there's over 1,000 Civil War vets buried in this area that I found. There's over 5,000 guys from Shamokin that served in World War II out of Shamokin Township area, So how many actually is there? And when they came back from World War II, they actually had to get jobs. So that's why it dwindled down,
One of the things that Mayor Brown told me when he went through this was about the fact that this building was a lookout in...
They had a thing up on the roof.
So tell me about that.
I don't know much about it. I'd only seen it once. They were spotters for the planes going by, and I never sat around. I had better things to do.
Got it. So was it enlisted men that would, like that was there?
No, you could, civilians,
Okay.
they could go up there. They know how to register,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they go up on the roof and they sit and count the planes, and they knew they had a picture book there, what the planes looked like. And
Why were they worried about planes or spotting planes over Shamokin? Like, we're kind of inland, right? Is there any...
well, who knows what the Japs
Yeah.
were up to?
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put fire bombs and balloons and attacked the United States.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I never knew that.
Yeah. You gotta read your history.
I know. Really? I thought I did until I got here. So tell me about that again. This is the Lincoln.
That's Lincoln Post 73.
Okay.
But for the Civil War guys, it was GAR Post 140.
Got it. Okay.
See, one of these markers has that on.
There we go. Yep.
Is that the one?
Yep. Lincoln Post 140.
Yeah. GAR.
GAR. Got it. And that's Grand Army of the Republic. Now, is that
Yeah.
Republic? Is that a Civil War reference?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I collected all these. I mean, some are the same because they were different manufacturers, but at least I got from the Civil War up,
Yeah, for sure. Sure. And then this is your seat, I understand, right?
Yeah, I generally sit over here. A lot of people like to have seats. I mean, they're a pain.
Too heavy. Oh, wow. So where would you like to start with the tour? I know you showed me some, but let's go back through it.
Get a picture of that.
Yeah.
That's for our POWs that didn't come back yet. Now you can look at these, the plane.
Yeah. Spirit is in them. And these are all pictures that they wrote. Were they here, or are they just...
No, I wrote to somebody.
Okay.
I followed them,
Okay.
and they sent the
Oh.
stuff back. That's the only guy I didn't really remember. He wasn't from Shamokin, but the rest of these are all you know, well, except for him.
Yeah.
You know, Shamokins.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And there's Clark Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
And there's his son, four-star general.
Oh, okay. That's neat. And what's behind you here?
These are just guys with Distinguished Service Crosses, the second highest award in the nation.
And all from Shamokin.
There's a good story here with the jungle priest.
Mm.
And Frankovich, he got killed and they named the ship after him. He's from Shamokin.
What a distinction, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Wasn't there a Shamokin ship? Like a ship named Shamokin?
Oh, there was a couple of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can kick that up on the internet.
I'll do that. Keep moving.
This here is the hardest hit Civil War battle that got killed. These guys all from
Okay.
Shamokin in the Civil War.
Wow.
Yeah, these guys are Spanish-American guys from here over. That guy was a Congressional Medal of Honor. He lived in Shamokin 20-some years. This guy, the hero of the crater.
Yeah, Snapper Reese.
Yeah.
He was the one that set the bomb?
Mhm.
Or yeah. See, I read history.
He never got his medal.
No kidding.
We fought it for over 10 years, and they rejected it.
And tell me about the USS Maine and where that came from.
According to what the family told me, that was, when they raised the ship, they took and melted the metal down and made plaques out of it. You can find that on the computer too, because I kicked it up, the US Maine, and it showed pictures of it. And I guess somehow, well, he was the big shot, so they turned around and gave him one.
Nice.
And then the family gave it to me to put on.
Beautiful. Oh, Leslie.
Yeah, his brother was a hot shot,
Yeah.
baseball player.
Yeah.
You don't even
He
talk
tossed a
about
little bit.
him.
That's right. That's right. Didn't know there was a Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the last Civil War vet. It was 1938. And this guy, he actually was captured, and they released him, and he turned around and went back in, and he ended up, he wouldn't surrender the second time, so they shot him full of holes. Now these are just different things about there's the names of the Civil War guys, or the Spanish-American in the Civil War. Well, the commander actually, as a kid, was in that building when they had everything on the walls and
Really?
stuff, and everything disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah, it was empty. When
That's what happened here. They had machine guns and everything in the bar over there. And when the city took the building over, everybody went in there and took everything out, but they didn't touch this room. You know? This guy here, the first one killed in World War II, but nobody knew about it because he was in the Bataan Death March.
Oh.
They pulled him out of the Death March and executed him. You know, and then in the war crime trials, that's when they found out he was the first one killed. This kid here, Township, he was the first one to die in Township. He was on a barge. He got swept off the barge down the South Pacific in a typhoon and never recovered. Then we have the lady. She was on her way home to get married and walked into the prop. She was up, actually about 2 blocks up from my house. Remember Chuck Peters?
Oh, wow.
When Kennedy was killed, he came into the health class where we were in. And he came in with a picture of him and Kennedy standing next to each other. Yeah, they were friends. And we showed the PT boat behind. It wasn't the PT 109,
Right.
but I think it was his ship, you know. And I tried to track the family down. Nobody knew what happened to her. And there's a signing of the, well, here's our Congressional Medal of Honor from Shamokin. And this here was up in Camp Evans. They had an ammo dump explosion. And it was, I think it was, what was it, 2,000? Oh, 10,800,000 pounds of ammo.
Wow.
And it leveled the whole base. Yeah, I was blown 40-some feet.
You were there?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I was there for a while, then I went down with the Marines for a while, because I was with an air commando unit.
Okay.
So wherever they needed us, so I got to go into these different places.
But to, experience that, I see now, Sergeant Roger Alleman. Wow.
This guy, I think, is Dave. He was a sniper. He had 52 kills, 12 by hand-to-hand. It took me years to find that picture.
Really?
Yeah. And it was because of the books over there. I got into the books and I started looking under the pages, you know, for the yearbooks.
Yearbooks, yeah. No kidding, that's where you found
That's how I found them. And this stuff here is just... You know, this is all World War I stuff. Histories and their records.
Did you type all that?
No, this is the original paper.
Open that up again, please. Oh, say this is like the
You wanna
actual
be a
discharge and
secretary?
stuff. Oh, I decided not to. I don't want the seat. Wow.
Yeah, that there, I don't know what this one is.
They do? Yeah.
Oh, that's the Civil War guy, Freiberger. There's a couple guys in there. This here thing was up in Trevorton. Nobody knew who it was. And the one guy asked me, I said, he's from the Legion. So he's on the wall, and here that was made. Gold Star Mother and all, his brother. Somewhere in there, the story starts. I think it's in here, where they presented the gavel, and it was supposed to be General Meade.
Adjutant General Liller, on behalf of Mrs. Swartz here, presented the camp with a very handsome gavel, which is from the battlefield of Gettysburg, taken from where General Meade had his headquarters. It was regularly moved and seconded that this association send a letter of thanks for the gavel. The first meeting of the terms of the Shamokin American War veterans was called to order at 7:30 p.m.
Photographers. So Hitler and the Japs were hooked together. they pulled him out of there and executed him and 9 others.
You know, you hear these things like the Bataan Death March and things like that, but to have it,
Yeah. Well, here's
linked
a bigger
locally.
picture of that guy from Shamokin that got the congressional. He was actually born in the Heights. He lived in Long Carmel for a couple of weeks, and the grandparents lived in Trevenant Road. But they call him the Shamokin kid.
Aw.
And he was captured at bayonet point, and he played possum on a machine gun. And when the Germans took him back, he got him to surrender. And they came out, he was still playing. They came back 3 times, I think it was, to find out who was shooting, and he kept killing them.
Are you kidding?
So he ended up with the Congressional Medal of Honor, and he got the Distinguished Flying Service Cross.
Wow.
Yeah, his family actually, he gave me a whole copy of his medals. It took me 2 years to get him to sign a paper to get his medals.
What would you like people to know about this space?
Save your history.